100. Used to wanna be like Mike, now I wanna be like Dre. Rich, real nigga. Hard to blow out of the Northwest when you pro-black and don't act gay. That's how I feel, nigga.
They know that this carries a risk to the heart of an infant, and they are willing to prescribe this so that people can emotionally feel connected to a child.
What's up, y'all? My name is Hassan, aka Sani Bravo. I'm a small business owner, personal trainer by trade, and a single father. Usually I disagree with quite a few things that Candace Owens talks about, but I'm thinking today we may have an exception.
So here's a question for you. How is it exactly that biological men lactate? Have you ever thought of that? Probably not, because it just seems like such a ridiculous concept. But you hear this argument over and over again. Men can menstruate, men can breastfeed. Oh no, we need to call it chest feeding. And I obviously have been very interested in actually understanding these issues.
We're going to have to pause right there because I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm late to the party. I'm going to just play the video. Maybe I'll find out what she's talking about because I ain't never heard no shit like that.
Because, well, this is a huge cultural debate right now. Well, this article popped up of a trans woman breastfeeding on the bus on the way to the hospital.
It might be time for the meteor to go on ahead and hit.
And it is a photo of Mika Pauluelo. Mika Pauluelo lives in the UK, and it sparked outrage because they're wondering what on earth Mika is doing. And I'm going to explain that to you because it's quite interesting. Now, how do biological men lactate? Well, they can make themselves lactate by taking a combination of medicines called the Newman-Goldfarb protocol. It tricks the body into making milk. It was originally developed for biological women who adopted or had a child via surrogacy and wanted to breastfeed. So I just want to pause there because a lot of criticism that I get is that focusing on trans issues. No, focusing even on making this wider. If you're a biological woman, right, a woman, so to speak, I shouldn't be calling this biological woman, and you decide to adopt a child or to have a child via surrogacy, you should not be allowed to take a powerful cocktail of hormones that can threaten the baby simply because you want the experience of breastfeeding, okay? Basically, essentially, we are willing to put your child at risk because you want to feel the closeness that people who actually carry their children and birth to them, their children experience at the same level. That is literally picking somebody's emotions over the health of a child.
I want y'all to dive down this rabbit hole with me real quick. You see a trans woman on your commute breastfeeding a real life baby, and it's clear as day that this is a trans woman, let's say 6'4", 250 pounds, right? Broad shoulders, Adam's apple, penis. Doesn't that seem like something's wrong with that? But this is the new thing that's going to be normalized? Not only is that weird and strange and just wrong to do that to an unsuspecting child in the first place, but these drugs that make someone able to lactate and produce this milk also has potential negative health effects on the child's heart. So not only are you putting this child through this strange, unnatural process because of how you feel, which who knows what the psychological effects are going to be for that child later on just based on that. You know, looking at pictures of that. This is crazy. This is like some Frankenstein shit for real. But it also puts a child in physical harm's way, literally. Shit ain't right, man.
But let's keep talking about what this Goldfarb protocol involves so you understand what risk it actually does put to the infants. The method involves taking hormone-boosting medications, including the pill. Other drugs that are used include anti-sickness medicine, which is called metoclopramide, heart medicine, and antipsychotic chlorpromazine and a sedative medications, which are known to increase prolactin, the hormone that is responsible for milk production. The drug regimen is used in conjunction with a breast pump to mimic the changes that a woman's body undergoes during the late stages of pregnancy and shortly after the birth of a child. Experts have urged caution about trans women using the Newman-Goldfarb protocol to lactate. They have warned that the long-term health implications from using the treatment for both adults and the baby are unknown. Now, the drug is branded as Motilium, and medics are only allowed, at least under the UK rules, to prescribe it to increase milk production off label because it knows that it carries a risk to the infant. The patient leaflet for Motilium itself warns breastfeeding mothers that it's, quote, best not to take it while nursing a baby due to the potential safety risks. It also reads, small amounts have been detected in breast milk. Motilium may cause unwanted side effects that affect the heart in a breastfed baby. Motilium should be used during breastfeeding only if your physician considers this clearly necessary. Now, why would a physician consider it clearly necessary if a woman who adopted a child and just wanted to experience what it would be like to breastfeed asked for it? Does that seem like it's clearly necessary to prescribe it off label under those circumstances? Or worse, if a man said, I identify as a woman and I too would like to know what the breastfeeding experience is like. Again, they know that this carries a risk to the heart of an infant, and they are willing to prescribe this so that people can emotionally feel connected to a child. Does that seem right to you? This is forever calling in to question the morals of Big Pharma, because it just appears to me that there are none, that we are starting to put people's feelings over now even the health of an infant. That's what's happening right now. We are putting people's feelings over the health of an infant. And it is sad to me that there are people that will defend this, that they will say, oh no, it's more important that we address the feelings of the father in this circumstance and the closeness that he wishes to experience with this infant, rather than dealing with the reality that this infant's heart could suffer long-term effects from these drugs. So I thought this was a very important thing for you to understand because, well, it's obviously, if it's happening in the UK, that means that it's already happening in America, because we have the lowest bar when it comes to Big Pharma and morality in the entire world. There's no place worse than America when it comes to Big Pharma and the things that we are willing to prescribe to children and now infants to make sure that people's feelings are being met.
I don't have any disagreements on this. I mean, straight up, this is what I want to know. I want to hear from the people who are pro this. Because I'm trying to figure out, just like I'm trying to figure out with the thoughtastic anti-family behavior, where's the line going to be drawn? What is not okay? Because it seems to be that at this point in time, everything is supposed to be acceptable. So I'm trying to figure out what's the logical argument for this. It actually puts children in physical harm. It physically harms children just for people to be, I guess, happy or I don't know what I want to know who the people are who would advocate for something like this. And I'd like you to explain your position. And I want to see the other side of the argument, because I'm open to hearing the other side of the argument. I just don't think I'm going to agree with it. So is there going to be any logic on this side of the argument, or is everything supposed to be emotion based nowadays? Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share the video. I'm going to holler at y'all next time. 100.